This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young on ESPN Radio 94.1.
Here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk at the Boo Palace. It is the Hoop Group Southern Jam Fest with the coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. We're pleased to be joined by the head basketball coach of the Division III national champions from Randolph-Macon, 33-1 overall, Josh Merkel with us. Coach, congratulations. How sweet is it to be walking around with that as your tag, if you will, national champions from 2021-2022?
It's great. I appreciate it. It's good to be on here talking hoops with you guys. I'm ready to turn the page, though.
So you can't even give us the insight on what the most memorable thing or enjoyable thing about winning the championship was. You're on to 22-23.
That's a great question. It's probably hard to pinpoint one thing. The journey was awesome. It's like how you do anything. People always talk about the journey. I think all of it would be special. Battling through the COVID like we all did, and then to come out and have that opportunity to finish the season. And then the way we did it, maybe running through some teams there in the tournament, it was all pretty special, pretty sweet.
All right, Ed wants to hold the trophy or get a T-shirt that says national champ or something to wear around.
Well, if I got to wait for a T-shirt from Randolph-Macon, I'll be long gone and dead by that time. Because I ain't got a 7-footer to give them. I know how these dudes work at this level. You got somebody, you get gear. When you don't have somebody, you don't get nothing. But, Josh, you got to enjoy it, my man. You have done a tremendous job in this business. Now, we talked about you earlier. You weren't on, but we had John Kokorki, one of your cohorts.
Yep.
And, by the way, he's so mad as heck that he only got that. We're not. Josh said, don't ask me about my one loss. He's 33-1. Everybody been asking about one loss. We already heard about it. John told us everything, and he said if I would have played the doggone guy 5 more times, I'd have 5 more wins. So we already said all that. But now, Josh, you got to enjoy it. It's not something that happens on a regular. I think, and I'm probably 100% wrong on this, to win at your level, the Division III level, is the toughest level to win a national title, unless you're a team that takes a bunch of D1 drop-downs, which pretty sure you don't have done.
Yep.
You've done it the hard way, the right way, the hard way. You've worked for it.
Yep.
You've got to enjoy it. Did you have that one moment, and you can level with us now because you have that title, where away from the crowd, away from everybody, maybe you got out of bed one day, maybe you were raking leaves, maybe, I don't know, and you just said to yourself, God dang it, I did it. I'm not saying it's you personally. Nowhere as coaches we'd say we, our team, but come on now.
Well, I would say the two things that come to mind real quick is that at the end of the championship game, we're up big, and it was like under a minute. We were up 30. I should have relaxed probably way before, but just I remember hugging Buzz, hugging Josh, 757 guy, Josh Talbert, and just deep breath knowing I didn't have another game to prepare for. It's the first time almost in 3 years where I felt like I could just take a deep breath and exhale. And then my two seniors after the game in the hotel lobby just kind of celebrated and said, Coach, come here. You're our favorite coach and our least favorite coach at the same time. And I just – you don't really hear that from guys. I think, maybe winning the last game allowed those guys to be vulnerable, say that, and I take it as a compliment.
You had an All-American who was just wonderful in Buzz Anthony. You had a 757 guy you just mentioned, Josh Talbert from Kellum High School in Virginia Beach. For those that don't know, I'm not sure how familiar Ed is. He played at Kellum. Of course, he wasn't going to play Norm Hassel in Kellum. He didn't win it except for that L like he had in the Virginia Preps Classic. Sorry to bring up bad memories again, Ed. But
and plus that he holds the ball too doggone long. We can't chase
Hassel's Castle's hard to win it. But the kid has a double-double in the national championship. How cool is that? I mean, like a lot of kids, he probably envisioned, I can play Division I, and he's athletic enough and good enough to, but he comes to your place and gets to fulfill that experience, which not many kids can say they do.
Yeah. I mean, credit to Josh. He keeps getting better and better. He's learned it from a guy like Buzz Anthony, National Player of the Year. Both those guys, I think to win, like you said, to win that Division III, you have to have guys that are capable of playing above. And those guys now as juniors, seniors could play and impact winning at a lot of places. So super grateful for both those guys. But, just that growth to see him keep getting better. He's still hungry to get better, battling complacency. Excited to see what he does in his senior year.
Hey, real quick, he's national champion coach. Let's go back to high school ball. Where'd you play?
I played at Prospect Hall, Frederick, Maryland.
College?
Salisbury University in Maryland.
There you go. I just had a kid signed with Salisbury, Jaleel Langston.
I like this quick hitter mode. We can get his you, we'll be in good shape.
Because he knows I talk too much.
That's right.
Okay, first coaching job.
Was Prospect Hall, my alma mater.
Okay, how long there?
3 years high school coach.
Next?
West Virginia, John Beeline, GA.
Ooh,
then
Beeline. Go ahead, keep going.
Eastern Kentucky for 5 years. Randolph-Macon under Nathan Davis, Salisbury head coach. Randolph-Macon head coach, 7 seasons.
There you go. So the guys put the time and effort in. And when you coach at Eastern Kentucky, who the heck knows where that's at? Because if you could find players for Eastern Kentucky, you could find players anywhere. Coached under a great guy with Beeline.
Yep.
So you've learned a lot. who have you probably can say where you got the most from? And I know you're going to try to be like me. There's so many people you steal from, but who's made that impact?
Well, you'll probably love this, but my 2 high school coaches, Stu Vetter, I would say high school Hall of Fame, and then Kevin Sutton was my JV coach, so I had him for 4 years.
Okay.
And most people will know that name. Just tremendous influence. He's at Kansas State now. So I got really lucky and blessed in high school. I'd say those are 2 of my biggest. And then John Beeline, obviously, and Nathan Davis, Jeff Neubauer at Eastern Kentucky. I've been very blessed with the coaching tree.
And Macon, of course, now – and you get that big one as we've been talking about. And I'm going to keep saying it because it's not, national championship, man, come on. Not a lot of people can say they've been in the business for so long.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you, and I know you don't want me to ask this, but sometimes they pay me nothing to ask the big questions. Eventually, let's say eventually, Randolph-Macon people that are listening, I said eventually.
He's starting rumors already, Josh.
Yeah. Eventually, would you like that chair to Division I level?
Right, if it's the right job at the right time.
Okay.
And that's going to take a lot because you got to be careful. Don't run from happy. Don't take things for granted. We've got a great thing going. I think it's one of the best jobs in the country. I love who I work for, with. We're getting good players. We got a chance to impact winning. I think you just got to be careful. Bigger, not always better. Not caught up in the level and the status of that Division I.
Well, Ed, I mean, it's only natural. Look at the Macon coaching tree. You got Nate Davis at Bucknell. Mike Rhodes was walking around this gym. He's been on our show many times before VCU. His son's playing here. Those Macon guys end up going that route at some point. But you enjoy where you're at. You're in no rush.
Here's my point. And again, to the Randolph-Macon people, the guy's giving you a gold mine. He's done his job. They're not good guys aren't going to stay long because it's just the way it is. Now, Dave Maceto's done a long-term job, but he's turned down a lot of things, too.
Right.
And you might be the dude that's going to turn down a lot of stuff, too. But you deserve the opportunity. American way, you're going to move up. But you made a great point. The grass is not always greener on the other side. Sometimes it's fake.
Yep.
And sometimes they don't use manure over there, but it smells like it. So you understand that.
I like that.
Okay? But you're doing the job at where you're at, and that's all that's important now.
Yeah.
But you've got that has worked and earned that and put into that. So people have to understand that.
Yeah.
And that's why I throw it out there, because it's only natural. And again, it's hard. Somebody comes at you for $200,000, $300,000 a year.
Yep.
Okay, Macon, can you do that? Not really. Okay, then you can't fault people for doing that.
Yep.
But you're putting your heart and soul into what you're doing now, and that's important. And you came out with that national title.
Yep.
What would you say to the younger coaches out there? Maybe they're not Division IIIs. Might be me, a high school guy, not a younger guy. What are a couple points you say to guys you cannot waver on as a coach? You've got to stick to your guns on something. What would be some factors you would say?
I mean, the work ethic and then being a great teammate, probably starting with those two, and all that. And then enjoying the journey, enjoying the work, enjoying the process. I would say one thing going back to all of that, what you just said, I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be and having the max impact where I'm at right now. I don't know if you go somewhere else, if you can do that or do it right away. And if people in their lives and if players where they're at can also embrace that, man, it'd be a better life for a lot of people. I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Last one for me. We're talking with Coach Josh Merkel, the national champion, Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets Division III champs this past year. Had Josh Talbot from Kellam High and Virginia Beach play a key role. It's the Hoop Group Southern Jam Fest here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk from the Booplex in Hampton on ESPN Radio 94.1. We mentioned it to Coach Krikorian. We've brought it up to Dave Macedo as well. The Division III hoops in our state, and just even in your league, the ODAC is just unreal. I think some people maybe not comprehend it. But also thing I'm curious about real quickly, Coach, is when you look at the recruiting now with things, we brought this up to Coach K earlier, the one that's not at Duke, but the one that's at CNU.
The only important one now.
Yeah, it feels like that in the past you all would have turned the page entirely from 2022. And I don't want to speak for where you are with your 22 class or 23 class.
Right.
But it feels like for Division I, II, and III now with everything that's happened with COVID and things, it's a little bit different. So in some ways we're all learning in a different way than we were when we come to events like this than, say, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still, at the end of the day, who wants to be with you, who connects with you, who's going to be a good fit. I did hear, those guys weren't quite done. I feel like we're in a good place. We got 8 guys coming in. We got 10 returners, all that stuff. But we are all learning. And I think we got to be careful who we take because, there's some guys talking about coming to us to play up or just in general going to D3 level to play up. And, again, it comes back to I want to get guys that feel like they're where they're supposed to be and just want to impact winning and develop where they're at.
I gotta ask you this too, Joe. You won a national title. I'm guessing. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I bet a bunch of people are calling you saying, "Hey, I got a kid for you. Hey, you need to see this kid."
Yep.
More so than in the past, right or wrong?
Absolutely. It elevates status because they want their kid, if they're going to go D3, to play at one of the best or have that ranking. And again, you got to be careful and get the right. It's probably expanded our list, but not in the best way.
What's funny is what you did this year, you've always done. It's just that the reward was a little different. National title.
Yeah.
You've always worked. And that way I can't include myself because I called him about one of my kids. Called to congratulate him. But I have a kid who's and
so you're guilty of that too.
No, but you're
guilty.
Josh and I have a relationship.
Yeah, we had a good
and he knows the kid I mentioned. He knows the kid I mentioned. The kid, and he's going to go to Regent now. He's found a place he really likes.
Yep.
Though I think Josh missed a boat on it, but that doesn't matter. He got a national title.
On radio, you got me, man.
He's got a national title.
I was being honest.
He's got a national title.
And 3 point guards coming in already.
Yeah,
right.
He's ruthless, isn't he?
This is my point with this guy.
Taking my jacket off.
Ruthless, I know.
Yeah, we're going to fight.
You thought rapid fire was hard.
No,
this is nothing.
But this is my point. This is a guy I like talking to as a high school coach and talking to. He's going to talk to me the right way. He's not going to blow smoke in my face, blah, blah, blah. He's going to tell me, Coach. And he said it. He didn't even say coach. He said, Ed, he has some skill set, but we don't need that right now. And I had no problem with it.
Yeah.
Here's what really hurts. I want one of my kids to play for him.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Whether he plays a second or not, I don't care. Because of what he represents, and this is where I want my guys to be. But this guy, like I keep saying, he's done a great job. I've known him since those Salisbury State, Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah.
I can't remember because I still don't know where the heck is Eastern Kentucky
last time.
Yeah, we don't even know where Eastern Kentucky's at. but like I said, that's my biggest thing. I want my kids to be able to play for guys at the next level. Of course, I want them to get an education, but I want them to play for guys that they're going to learn something from. That's like me, not that I'm the best, but continue teaching stuff off the court.
Yeah.
Stuff that's going to be good for life.
Yeah.
That's why I got to get a guy to play for this dude down the road.
And that's why we want one of your guys, so we'll keep working at it.
There you go.
All right, well, doggone it, next time when I tell you something, listen. I got his. He's a national.
Me sooner.
He's a national title coach, and I got to learn this guy something.
Oh my gosh!
I still got to learn him something because he's a national title.
Relentless, like that relentless rebounder I watched last night in the 60. Anyway, Josh Merkel, thank you so much for stopping by, head coach of the national champions. Congratulations, well earned. I know it's been something you've been working towards for a long time. It's your first time on this show, but not the last time. And don't worry, next time we'll have the dogs on him. So
I see it. We have to win the big one to get on here, so I see what I'm working with. But awesome to talk with you guys. Thank you guys.
And all serious too, Josh. Enjoy what you did. I know you're recruiting, you're looking. It's going to be okay, man. You did something very few are going to do. Enjoy it. Your kids are going to be good. You set that program, man. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. We love it.
All right. Thanks, Ed. Thanks,
Josh
Matt.
Merkel, head basketball coach at Randolph-Macon, the national champs in Division III, with us here at the Hoop Group Southern Jam Fest at the Booplex. Coming up next, we've got Lamar Barrett, NBA scout, and Franklin native, former assistant coach at ODU in Hofstra, and also the man that brought you the Unmasked docuseries. It's coming up next on ESPN Radio 94.1.